Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Gopi Chanda Baba Girivaradhari
Vijana Baba Shivaradhari.
Gopi Chanda Baba Girivaradhari
Vijana Baba Shivaradhari.
Yashoda Nandana Braja Chanda Ranjana
Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yashoda Nandana Braja Chanda Ranjana
Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Jamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Gopi Chanda Vallabha Girivaradhari
Vijana Baba Shivaradhari.
Yashoda Nandana Braja Chanda Ranjana
Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Jamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So today's Caitanya-caritamrita class, and we will sing this nice song, which is about Lord Chaitanya. Adi-lila Aruna Purava Bhaje Dvijamani Gora Amani Jage
Adi-lila Aruna Purava Bhaje Vijamani Gora Amanujaga.
Pakata Sangmuhaloya Sate Kela Nagara Braje
Bhagata Samhaloya Sate Gela Nagara Braje.
Tatai Tatai Bhajalako Gana Tahe Jandiraro
Takai Takai Bajavato Gana Gana Tate Jajiraro.
Preme Dala Dala Sonara Anga Charane Nupura Braje
Preme Dala Dala Sonara Anga Charane Nupura Bhaje.
Mukunda Madhava Yadava Hari Bolena Bolore Vanana Bore
Mukunda Madhava Yadava Hari Bolena Bolore Banana Bori.
Michelina Bashe Gelo Re Rati Divasa Sharira Saje.
Chenida Basage Lore Rati Divasa Sharira Saje.
Emanadurla Manava Deho Paya Kikoro Bhavana Keo.
Emanadula Vamana Vadeha Paya Kikoro Dawana Keho.
Ebina Bajile Yashoda Sutta Tara Me Pori Belaje.
Ebena Bajile Yashoda Sutta Charame Bori Velaje.
Udita Tapana Hoile Asta Dina Gela Vole Hoi Bevyasta.
Mudita Tapana Hoile Asta Dina Gelo Boli Hoi Bevyasa.
Tabe Keno Ebe Alasa Hoi Nabaja Hridoya Raje.
Tapekeno Ebe Alasa Hoye Nabaja Hoye
Jivana Anitya Jana Hasar Tahena Navina Viparabar.
Jivana Anitya Jana Rasa Tahayana Vida Vipadavar.
Namashraya Kori Chatane Tu Vitakaha Apana Kaje.
Namaskaya Gori Jatane Tumi Takaha Apanakaje.
Jivarakayana Sadhana Kam Jagate Asi E Madhuryanam.
Jivara Kalina Sadhanaka Jagataya Sihi Madhuranam.
Avidyate Miratapana Rupe Hridagane Viraje.
Avidyati Maratapana Rupa Hide Gagane Viyaje.
Krishna Nama Shuddha Kokori Apan Jarayo Bhakti Vinoda Pran.
Krishna Nama Sutta Gorapan Juravati Vinoda Pranam.
Nama Vina Kichu Nahiko Aro Choda Bhuvana Maje.
Nama Vina Kichu Nahiko Ara Chuda Bhuvana Maje.
Okay. When a tinge of red on the eastern horizon heralded the sunshine, the jewel of the twice-born, Lord Gaura Sundar, immediately awakened. Taking his devotees with him, he went all over the countryside, visiting the towns and villages of Nadia. The mridangas resounded, tat-tai, tat-tai, and the cymbals chimed in time, and Lord Gauranga's footbells jingled as his golden form trembled slightly in ecstatic love of God. Lord Chaitanya called out to the townsfolk, "You spend your nights uselessly sleeping and your days decorating your bodies. Now just fill your mouths with the vibration of the holy names, Mukunda, Madhava, Yadava, Hari, chanting without offense. You have achieved the rare human body. Don't you care for this gift? If you do not serve the darling of Yashoda now, great sorrow awaits you at death." Each time the sun rises and it sets, a day passes and is lost. Then why do you remain idle and refuse to serve the Lord of the heart? Understand this essential fact. Life is temporary and full of all kinds of miseries, so take shelter of the holy name as your only business. Desiring to bless all souls, the sweet name of Krishna has descended to the material world and now shines like the sun in the sky of the heart, destroying the darkness of ignorance. Drink the pure nectar of the holy name of Krishna and thus satisfy the soul of Bhaktivinoda. There is nothing but the holy name within all the 14 worlds. Maybe we should translate this for... Yeah. Wait. Let me get back to the beginning of the translation. No. There. That's the beginning. Into the microphone. We have others who are watching also. Yes, Amen.
This one word, finch. What does it mean, finch?
It means
finch.
a little bit of sunlight was coming through, just a little bit, tinge. Tinge, yeah.
Little bit. Когда небольшие лучи красного, как бы это, появляется солнце на горизонте, sunrise, поднимается солнце. Jewel twice born. Jewel, like the jewel of the twice born. Jewel, what does mean jewel?
Where?
This one. Драгоценность. Драгоценность дважды рожденного Господа Гарасундара немедленно пробуждается. Приняв его преданных, taking his devotees with him, принимая его преданных с ним, он отправляется по всем деревням, посещая города и деревни Нади, countryside. Yes. Мриданга звучит татай, и цимбалы звенят в ритм, и Господь Гауранга food bells jingle. Food bells, вот это слово jingle.
Trembled?
Колокольчики, наверное, это food bells, колокольчики звенят, и его золотая форма тремблет, как бы slightly изогнана немного в экстатической любви к Богу. Тремблет это слово. Не, вот тремблет. Трemble. Дрожит слегка в экстатической любви Господа. Золотая форма слегка дрожит. It's okay. Господь Чайтанья взывает Townswalk, и ты распространяешь его ночи uselessly, ты проводишь свои ночи бесполезно, спя, и целый день украшаешь свое тело. Сейчас просто исполни, just now, наполни свои рты с вибрацией святого имени Мукунда, Мадава, Ядава, Хари, воспевая без оскорблений. Yes. И так ты достигнешь редкой... Ты получил редкую форму это тело, ты получил эту возможность, редкое человеческое тело. Don't you care of this gift? Как бы не пренебрегай этим даром. И если ты не служишь darling Yashoda now. If you do not serve the darling, это слово darling, не сложит Ешоде сейчас, великая скорбь пробудится, будет пробуждать тебя до самой смерти. Darling.
Это мое.
А?
Милый.
Милая Ешоды сейчас. Если не служишь милой Ешоды сейчас, великая скорбь будет тебя сопровождать до самой смерти. Wait.
Okay.
Yes. Each time, каждый раз, когда солнце поднимается и опускается, день проходит и все теряется. Затем, почему ты не остаешься refuse to serve, не остаешься как бы служить Господу твоего сердца? Idol, как бы это божеству Господа твоего сердца. Yes.
Праздный.
Refuse. Праздный. Остаешься как бы на веселухе или праздный, или в таком настроении кайфовом. И refuse, повторно отказывайся служить Господу твоего сердца. Понимая это действительный факт, жизнь очень временна и полна всяких видов страданий. Поэтому прими убежище святого имени как твое основное занятие, твой основной бизнес. Yes. Желаемые, благословенные все души сладкого имени Кришны не зашли в материальный мир и сейчас сияют подобно солнцу в небе сердца, разрушая невежество и темноту. Пить чистый нектар святого имени Кришны так удовлетворяет душу Бхактивинода или удовлетворяет душу Бхактивинода. И нету, кроме святого имени, в этом нету ничего лучшего святого имени во всех 4 мирах. Why is 14 worlds? It's all 14, да. Why they said nothing?
14 worlds?
Yeah, 14 worlds.
14 worlds means 14 planetary systems in the universe.
Окей, это значит 14 планетарных систем. Вся Вселенная.
There's nothing but the holy name within the whole universe.
Вся Вселенная, 14 планетных систем.
Okay.
Так, ты удовлетворишь душу Бхактивинода. Bhaktivinoda, it was writing this son, yeah, Bhaktivinoda?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. This last verse?
That's the last verse.
Okay. Jai Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai, Hribu.
So we're continuing on with Caitanya-caritamrita.
Okay.
We're in Adi-lila,
Adi-lila.
chapter 2.
Так, Caitanya-caritamrita. Adi-lila. Chapter what?
2.
2. Okay. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. We're on verse 4.
Ага, verse 4.
Okay. I'll try to chant the Sanskrit, the Bengali here, and then we'll go slowly for the each verse.
I have translation here Russian. You can read faster, no problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. So I'll do the Bengali. I'll read it in English, and then you can translate it. You can read it in Russian. Tritiya shlokera arta kari vivarana vastu nirdesha rupa mangulacharana. Let me describe the meaning of the third verse of the first 14. It is an auspicious vibration that describes the absolute truth.
Adi-lila, туфу, Caitanya-caritamrita. Yes, translate. It's Шри Caitanya-caritamrita, Adi-lila, песнь 2, глава 4, текст 4. Глава 2, текст 4. Перевод. Теперь я объясню 3 стих из первых 14. Значение этого стиха дарует благо, ибо он описывает абсолютную истину.
Next verse. Yadadvaitam brahmopanishadi tad apyasya tanuva ya atmanar yami purusha iti so shama vibhavaha sad aishvaryai purno ya iha bhagavan sa swayam ayam na chaitanyat krishnat jagati paratattvang param iha. What the Upanishads describe as the impersonal Brahman is but the effulgence of his body, and the Lord known as the Supersoul is but his localized plenary portion. Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself, full with 6 opulences. He is the absolute truth, and no other truth is greater or equal to him.
Текст 5, перевод. Безличный Брахман, о котором повествуют Упанишады, суть не что иное, как сияние его тела, а сверхдуша в сердце каждого его полная экспансия. Господь Чайтанья – это сам Бог, Верховная Личность Кришны, исполненный 6 совершенств. Он абсолютно истина, и нет истины превыше его или равной ему.
Purport.
Комментарий.
Maybe I'll read one paragraph and then you.
Okay.
So, first paragraph. The compilers of the Upanishads speak very highly of the impersonal Brahman. The Upanishads, which are considered the most elevated portion of the Vedic literatures, are meant for persons who desire to get free from material association and who therefore approach a bona fide spiritual master for enlightenment. The prefix upa indicates that one must receive knowledge from the absolute truth about the absolute truth from a spiritual master. One who has faith in his spiritual master actually receives the transcendental instruction, and as his attachment for material life slackens, he is able to advance on the spiritual path. Knowledge of the transcendental science of the Upanishads can free one from the entanglement of existence in the material world. And when thus liberated, one can be elevated to the spiritual kingdom of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by advancement in spiritual life. Now in Russian.
Комментарий. Составители Упанишад превозносят безличный Браман. Упанишады считаются наиболее возвышенными из всех ведических писаний и предназначены для тех, кто желает освободиться от пут материи и потому в поисках просветления приходят к истинному духовному учителю. Приставка «упа» в слове Упанишада указывает на то, что знание об абсолютной истине следует получить от духовного учителя. Тот, кто верит в своего гуру, получит подлинно духовные наставления, и по мере того, как привязанность к мирской жизни в таком человеке будет ослабевать, он будет продвигаться по духовной стезе, постигая трансцендентную науку Упанишад, человек освобождается от сетей материального мира и, продолжая совершенствоваться в духовной жизни, обретает возможность вознестись в духовное царство Верховной Личности Бога.
Next paragraph. The beginning of spiritual enlightenment is realization of impersonal Brahman. Such realization is effected by gradual negation of material variegatedness. Impersonal Brahman realization is the partial, distant experience of the absolute truth that one achieves through the rational approach. It is compared to one's seeing a hill from a distance and taking it to be a smoky cloud. A hill is not a smoky cloud, but it appears to be one from a distance because of our imperfect vision. In imperfect or smoky realization of the absolute truth, spiritual variegatedness is conspicuous by its absence. This experience is therefore called Advaita Vada, or realization of the oneness of the Absolute.
Следующий параграф. Духовное просветление начинается с осознания безличного Брамана. Это результат постепенного отрицания материального многообразия. Осознание безличного Брамана представляет собой частичное или весьма отдаленное восприятие абсолютной истины, обретаемое с помощью умозрительных рассуждений. Пример такого восприятия служит гора, которая издали кажется туманным облаком. Гора не облако, но таков результат нашего несовершенного восприятия. Несовершенное или затуманенное видение абсолютной истины не раскрывает духовного разнообразия, поэтому оно называется Адвайта-вадой, осознанием единства Абсолюта.
The impersonal glowing of effulgence of Brahman consists only of the personal bodily rays of the Supreme Godhead, Sri Krishna. Since Sri Gaurasundar, or Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, is identical with Sri Krishna himself, the Brahman effulgence consists of the rays of his transcendental body.
Следующий параграф. Безличное сияние Брамана – это свет, который исходит до тела Верховного Господа, Шри Кришны. И поскольку Шри Гарасундара или Господь Шри Чайтанья Махапрабху не отличен от Шри Кришны, безличный Браман – это сияние трансцендентного тела Господа Чайтанья.
Similarly, the Supersoul, which is called Paramatma, is a plenary representation of Caitanya Mahaprabhu. The Antaryami, the Supersoul in everyone's heart, is the controller of all living entities. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 15, wherein Lord Krishna says, Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sangnivishta. Quote, I am situated in everyone's heart, end quote. The Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, verse 29, also states, Bhoktarang Yagyatapasam Sarvam Loka Maheshwaram, indicating that the Supreme Lord, acting in his expansion as a supersoul, is the proprietor of everything. Similarly, the Brahma Samhita 5.35 states, Anantarasta Paramanu Chayantaru Stam. The Lord is present everywhere within the heart of every living entity and within each and every atom as well. Thus, by this supersoul feature, the Lord is all-pervading.
Следующий параграф. Точно так же сверхдуша Параматма – это полное проявление читания Махапрабху, Антарьями. Сверхдуша в сердце каждого повелевает всеми живыми существами. Подтверждение этому есть в Бхагавад-гите 15.15, где Господь Кришна говорит «Сарвася чахам хриди санивишта». «Я пребываю в сердце каждого». В другом стихе Гиты 5.29 также сказано, что Параматма, как экспансия Верховного Господа, властвует над всем же сущим. Боктарам яги тапасам сарвалокам магешварам. Кроме того, в Брахма Самхите 5.35 говорится «Адантарастха параману чаянтарастхам». Господь пребывает повсюду, в сердце каждого живого существа и в каждом атоме. Так в образе сверхдуши Господь пронизывает с собой все творение. Yes.
Furthermore, Lord Chaitanya is also the master of all wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation, because he is Sri Krishna himself. He is described as Purna, or complete. In this feature of Lord Chaitanya, the Lord is an ideal renouncer, just as Sri Ram was an ideal king. Lord Chaitanya accepted the order of sannyas and exemplified exceedingly wonderful principles in his own life. No one can compare to him in the order of sannyas. Although in Kali Yuga acceptance of sannyas is generally forbidden, Lord Chaitanya accepted it because he is complete in renunciation. Others cannot imitate him, but can only follow in his footsteps as far as possible. Those who are unfit for this order of life are strictly forbidden by the injunctions of the Shastras to accept it. Lord Chaitanya, however, is complete in renunciation as well as all other opulences. He is therefore the highest principle of the absolute truth.
Окей, next параграф. Помимо этого, Господь Чайтанья в полной мере обладает богатством, могуществом, славой, красотой, знанием и самоотречением, ибо Он сам Кришна. Его называют Пурна, полное целое. В облике Чайтанья Господь и Шри Чайтанья Господь предстает идеальным подвижником, а в облике Ширамы идеальным монархом. Господь Чайтанья принял саньясу, отрекся от мира и идеальным образом следовал высшим религиозным принципам. Ему нет равных среди саньяси. Как правило, в Кали-югу принимать саньясу запрещено. Но Господь Чайтанья сделал это, поскольку Он совершенен в самоотречении. Ему невозможно подражать, но необходимо по мере сил следовать. Его примеру тем, кто не способен отречься от мирских удовольствий, шастры строго запрещают принимать саньясу. Самоотречение Господа Чайтаньи абсолютно, как абсолютны все его совершенства. Вот почему он высшая абсолютная истина.
By an analytical study of the truth of Lord Chaitanya, one will find that he is not different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. No one is greater than or even equal to him. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 7, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, Patak partarang nanyat kinchit asti dhananjaya. O conqueror of wealth, Arjuna, there is no truth superior to me. Thus, end quote. Thus, it is here confirmed that there is no truth higher than Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu.
Следующий параграф. Размышляя над положением Господа читания можно понять, что Он не отличен от Верховной Личности Бога Кришны, и нет никого выше Его или равного Ему. В Бхагавад-гите 7.7 Господь Кришна говорит Арджуне: «Матах паратарам наньят кинчитасти дхананджая». «О завоеватель богатства Арджуна, нет истины выше меня». Это значит, что нет истины выше Господа Шри Кришны Чайтаньи. Next. And
The impersonal Brahman
yes.
is the goal of those who cultivate the study of books of transcendental knowledge, and the supersoul is the goal of those who perform yoga practices. One who knows the Supreme Personality of Godhead surpasses realization of both Brahman and Paramatma, because Bhagavan is the ultimate platform of absolute knowledge.
Следующий параграф. Безличному браману стремятся те, кто посвятил себя изучению книг по трансцендентной науке, а к параматме те, кто занимается йогой. Что же касается постижения Верховной Личности Бога, то оно превосходит осознание и брамана, и параматмы, поскольку знание о Бхагаване является вершиной абсолютного знания. Next.
The personality of Godhead is the complete form of Sat Chidananda, full life, knowledge, and bliss. By realization of the Sat portion of the complete whole, unlimited existence, one realizes the impersonal Brahman aspect of the Lord. By realization of the Chit portion of the complete whole, unlimited knowledge, one can realize the localized aspect of the Lord, the Paramatma. But neither of these partial realizations of the complete whole can help one realize Ananda, or complete bliss. Without such realization of Ananda, knowledge of the absolute truth is incomplete.
Окей. Личность Бога – совершенный образ Сачитананды, полноты, бытия, знания и блаженства. Постигнув сад, безграничное бытие полного целого, человек осознает Браман, безличную ипостась Господа, а постигнув чат или безграничную мудрость полного целого, он осознает Параматму. Образ, в котором Господь пребывает повсюду в материальном творении, однако такое частичное понимание полного целого не позволяет человеку постичь Ананду, безграничное блаженство, без которого знание абсолютной истины остается неполным. Next.
This verse of Caitanya-caritamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is confirmed by a parallel statement in the Tattva Sandarbha by Srila Jiva Goswami. In the 8th part of the Tattva Sandarbha, it is said that the absolute truth is sometimes approached as impersonal Brahman, which, although spiritual, is only a partial representation of the absolute truth, Narayan. The predominating deity in Vaikuntha is to be known as an expansion of Sri Krishna. But Sri Krishna is the supreme absolute truth, the object of the transcendental love of all living entities.
Окей, последний параграф. Этот стих Кришнадас Кавираджа созвучен с высказыванием Шрилы Дживы Госвами в его книге «Татва Сандарбха». В 9 разделе этой книги он пишет, что абсолютную истину можно постичь в виде безличного брамана. Однако браман духовен, он представляет собой лишь частичное проявление абсолюта, Нараяна. Повелитель Вайкунхи является экспансией Шри Кришны, а сам Шри Кришна – это высшая абсолютная истина, предмет трансцендентной любви всех живых существ.
That's the end of that purport. So I think, any questions?
Какие-нибудь вопросы? That usually so many questions. Yeah. Maybe I can ask some questions. You
Yes,
know, this in this one in like was like paragraph that was mentioned. You know, this Kali Yuga, the sannyas was prohibited. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said, and in other side, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in age 24 they took sannyas. You know how they can understand it's Kali Yuga. It's like very difficult to like become renowned completely, and that like it was also mentioned that like nobody from sannyas like like more higher than Lord Chaitanya, like sannyas. Like everyone should be like
right.
full of like principal sannyas, like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doing. How to understand, you know, like between like that prohibited took sannyas and Lord Chaitanya for show example, you know, that like.
Because Lord Chaitanya took sannyas and to preach Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, at that time, sannyas was basically Mayavad sannyas, which was prohibited. I mean, which Lord Chaitanya prohibited, I should say. Lord Chaitanya even took sannyas from a impersonalist to because he would be more respected. But what he actually did was preaching Krishna consciousness, which they did not do. In fact, he converted Prakasananda Saraswati and his thousands of followers to being devotees of Krishna. But he attracted them because he was a sannyasi. In their superficially in their line, but now we should not. But Srila Prabhupada also gave sannyas to so many devotees, but he did not give Mayavad sannyas.
Yeah.
So now,
You read before, you know, that like was like Srila Prabhupada was recommend. We was like translate. We Srila Prabhupada recommend sannyas took in age 60. You know, they're like when their body already like, and also they have so much experience like in life,
yes,
and that like. And we see Lord Chaitanya was, we can understand Lord Chaitanya is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nobody can follow his example, you know, this like, he was, have so young woman, or like wife, like 16 years old, and he was 24 years old. And he show example, you know, this only Supreme Personality of Godhead can do it, you know.
yes,
And between like Srila Prabhupada was also in around 60 years old, they took sannyas.
yes, and generally one takes sannyas at old age. But one time, Srila Prabhupada was, I think he had just given sannyas to some of his disciples who were all young in the 20s. 20.
Sorry, but that I heard also from lecture Srila Prabhupada. He said, I give young devotees sannyas. You know, I know that not all of them will be staying like sannyasi order, but to spread like movement, you know, and their mission, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I give sannyas, you know, and
Yes,
that time also it's many in India they criticize Srila Prabhupada why he gives sannyas so young devotees like 20 years old, 19 years old, 25 years old.
yes.
Yeah.
And so Srila Prabhupada wanted to spread this movement. It required devotees to travel and preach.
Yeah.
But Srila Prabhupada made another statement. He was asked, why. He was asked by a student, a reporter. I don't remember who exactly, but he said, they said, I thought you were supposed to take sannyas when you're very old, not young like this.
Yeah.
And Srila Prabhupada said, Srila Prabhupada says, what does it mean to be old?
Yeah.
What does it mean to be old? And of course, the person didn't.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be old? It means you're old. Srila Prabhupada says, being old means when you're close to death. Who can say? Can you say that you're not close to death?
Yeah.
So he supported. He said, I'm giving them because they've taken their life, their spiritual life, very seriously. They know that everything can end at any moment, so they're taking very seriously this order of sannyas. So Shobha explained like that.
Yeah, I heard this that like somebody asked like, and Srila Prabhupada said, what different from young age and old age? You know, who can give guarantee he can live for a while? You know, or 1 day or 5 days? You know, more. And what different one young age and old age? You know. And yes, Srila
Yes,
Prabhupada.
yeah. Old age means when you're about ready to die. So someone might be 10 years old, but old because maybe they die very early for some reason.
Yeah, some people, some devotees also pass so early, you know, and some devotees living for a while, more 100 years, you know, and we doesn't know. And general people also.
Like that.
Also, it's like was mentioned also that we can like acknowledge like absolute, like it was Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentioned that in purport that like was different people they try to understand, you know, the absolute truth, you know, the different levels, you know, Paramatma, Brahman, you know, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the question is, why they like devotees or they are not full of like path Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanting, you know, that like Hare Krishna Mahamantra or make devotional service for Supreme Personality of Godhead? Are they like trying to study, and you know, like Vedic scriptures? You know, they mention studying books.
I'm not understanding your question. What is actually the question?
Question is that why they like directly not serve Supreme Personality of God doing devotional service, but they some people like different levels, you know, studying books, yoga, and like try to understand like Brahman also. It's question.
So why does not everyone just go to worship Krishna directly?
Yeah.
Because most people in the world at any one time are not devotees of Krishna. They the Varnashram system, Vedic Varnashram system, is set up for the people in general. People in general are what are called, literally called karmis, which meaning their real interest in life is how to enjoy sense gratification now and how to increase my sense gratification in the future and future life. So they perform sacrifices and austerities and worship the demigods and different things like this for the purpose of increasing their. And then when they get all frustrated with that because it's just material, then they start thinking, well, let me become liberated. Let me get liberated. But because they're not devotees of Krishna, so for them liberation means the opposite of material life, which means you enjoy material things here. So liberation means you reject everything. They say it becomes impersonal realization, impersonal realization, liberation, and that's what they aspire for. Only when someone comes in contact with devotee and spiritual master and is given good knowledge of Krishna consciousness and as a result of that engages in devotional service, then we can develop the right attitude to engage in devotional service and go back home, back to the spiritual world. Most people in Vedic culture were not thinking of that until maybe the very end of their lives. And then and then they would have to take birth again and progress and continue the process. So yeah, most people, Vedic culture was nice because it elevated people gradually from wherever they were, gradually to the point of devotional service. But most people at any one time were not devotees of Krishna. They were just trying to follow the rules and regulations of Varnashram. And
The question is possible all people be devotee of Krishna, or they need to some time, to become devotee of Krishna, that like you mentioned that because they are like full of like to understand like Brahman or the Vedic scriptures,
yeah,
by studying, and but after that maybe they're doing devotional service, yeah, after
yes.
some like.
At some point, maybe the end of their life, they start devotional service. Of course, some people will engage in devotional service earlier, but people in general, they maybe at the end of their life, if they're lucky, they'll start. We here in ISKCON have become very lucky by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, and that we've, at whatever age we're at right now, we're actually engaging in devotional service. Srila Prabhupada didn't teach us how to go to the heavenly planets or go to the worship the demigods and those things. He taught us how to become Krishna conscious and go back to the spiritual world.
Yeah, also that like in Caitanya-caritamrita, the pastime Lord Chaitanya when he's travel, they chanting holy names, and once only like here, like holy names, people like general people, materialistic people become like devotee of Krishna,
Oh,
and
yeah, those are special souls who are getting special mercy from Lord Chaitanya. Yeah,
I think
I'm
it's
over
time
time.
over. Thank you so much for a wonderful class.
So so tomorrow we continue on with we're back on Srimad Bhagavatam tomorrow.
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Hare.
Oh. Imitation of following footsteps. Oh, there was one question. What's the difference between imitating someone and following the footsteps? Um, uh, okay. Imitating means it's just superficial. Following the footsteps means just like Srila Prabhupada showed us about chanting Hare Krishna, preaching Krishna consciousness. So we try to we try to do as Srila Prabhupada did, and actually follow the process. But if you try to imitate, it may be depending on who you're trying to just like for example, someone in the past like Haridas Thakur. We follow the example, or we follow the example of chanting Hare Krishna, but who can sit down and chant 192 rounds a day every day like that? So we don't. That would be imitation, which we Srila Prabhupada said don't even try to imitate him like that, because that will ruin us. Just trying to imitate and maybe putting on a show. We want to actually follow the instructions, and then we'll actually become Krishna conscious. Hope that helps. Okay, we are over time here, so let me finish for today, and then we'll